All right, good evening. We're gonna start the Forestville Town Board monthly meeting at the Forestville Town Hall. It is March 14th, 2024. The time is 6:35 p.m. Could I get a roll call?
Okay, Kevin Gillett,
Here.
Larry Huber, I'm here. Jason Flahach,
Here.
Dina Schmidt,
Here.
Ruth Kirscher is absent. Also present Lauren Eaker. Here. And Teresa Flahach.
Here.
All right. Can we do the Pledge of Allegiance?
6:30, okay.
Yeah, 6:35 is what it was.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got it. Kind of let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
All right. Verification of public notice. I know Ruth had told me, but we'll just repeat it for record.
It was posted on the town website and the town hall bulletin board.
All right, thank you. Item number 3, agenda presentation. Is every member okay with the agenda as written?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the order of the agenda, so I'd make a motion to adopt the agenda as published.
I'll second that motion.
All right, I have a motion made by Larry and seconded by Jason to approve the agenda or adopt the agenda as written, and all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it will carry. Item number 4, approval of meeting minutes from February 19th, 2024.
I believe those were sent out by Ruth. If anybody wants a copy of them, I have extra copies here, minutes. These are minutes that were generated through our clerk minutes program, reviewed both by Ruth and myself for accuracy. And so therefore I see nothing wrong with those.
Larry, can we grab one?
Sure
Do you
can.
want one, Jason?
Oh, I reviewed it on our email, but I'll take one anyway.
And I read it.
And
Yeah,
And look
it's,
them all over.
the only difference was, well, she had to add at the bottom, respectfully submitted by Ruth.
Right,
That was it.
okay.
So,
But seeing that, I'd make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from February 19th, 2024.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion on the table by Jason to approve the February 19th, 2024 meeting minutes, and a second by Larry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Treasurer's report.
In the checking, we have $2,236.15. The money market, we have $66,948.52. The LGIP, we have $182,289.58. We have in the ARPA, we have $40,960.47. The cemetery account, we have $14,333.65. In the fire department escrow, we have $134,275.50.
Okay, do we have any outstanding receivables?
We do not. The one that I talked about, the personal property last month, was paid.
Okay, that was that personal property?
Yeah, that was that shredding
Okay,
business.
that's good.
Yeah.
We had a few issues with regard to some online payments. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, do you wanna do that now, or you wanna do it when you're paying your payment of bills?
Well, it's an issue that came up during the month. It actually goes back quite a ways. Why don't you
Yes.
address it now?
Okay, so we had people paying online for dog license and hall rent. And so so Caroline Vogel, back in August of 16, she paid $125, and then she didn't use the town hall. So Ruth wrote the check back to her for $125.
Okay,
But, and then we also had Mary Babler for a culvert or driveway permit, whatever it was, for $20. And then they decided they didn't need it, so Ruth wrote a check back to Mary Babler. So then so how I know this stuff comes through is basically when I balance the checkbooks. Well, when I balanced the checkbook this last month, I had $65 that I had had no idea where it went. So I had Larry check into it, and what happened is on February 7th, they refunded that $125 to Carolyn and the $20 to Mary Babler, which, so we had $150 and 2 dog license, which was $10 each, that we paid in February, that came in February. But by taking that $125 back, we only got $65 back to us.
oh,
But what happened is now they just got double reimbursed.
huh.
Excuse me, I believe we have someone online. Would you please identify yourself?
Hi, Larry, this is Monica.
Okay,
Hi, Monica.
Hi,
Okay.
how are you doing?
Monica Nelson, okay. Good enough. It just came through as a phone number, didn't know who it was. Okay,
Yeah, I couldn't get in on the regular Zoom, so I had to do the call in.
okay, good enough. We'll continue on then.
Okay, so right now, and I don't, because it took 6 months from August to now to get this refund back, she has probably no idea what she got $125 back for.
Right.
Mhm.
So I don't know, and then Mary Babler's the same, you get $20 on your credit card, some people maybe don't even look at their credit card, they just pay it, I don't know, but I don't know how we get this fixed going forward, because if there's a refund, it should be like within the same month, I would think.
Right, and basically, I worked with the Stripe processor for our online stuff, got a hold of Atanas over in Europe. What went on here, we were expecting 190, we only got 65. Well, you take that 125 refund off, there's your $65 deposit. You check back to the August deposits, we went all the way through and got all of the,
Yeah, they gave us they had the $125 in August,
yep,
so that's why my checkbook balanced.
right. And we came back to, we looked at the deposits online from the bank. And this is how we identified the pieces. And then we got a response back from Atanas to resolve it. Now, the only issue is if somebody has paid online, we should not be issuing checks if it's a
Until-
refund.
Until we
We
get
should-
it.
Until we get it in our end,
Right.
yes.
When we get it on our end,
But I'll tell you, someone's not gonna wait 6 months to get it back.
correct, and we'll pursue that even
Yeah.
further. But we have one in here tonight.
Yes,
There's a refund that I would say we sign it, approve it, but let's
there's a
hold it.
refund?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
for the town hall,
Town hall.
okay.
Now, did we capture the 50? Or did we capture hundred and
Who is
twenty-five?
getting,
It's in here. I didn't
I don't remember the name.
remember.
I don't
the name,
either,
But there's,
she told me that, but I don't
yeah,
remember who it
there's a
was.
refund in there and,
Oh, Melinda,
yeah,
So-
so we'll,
so the $150 came through, but they took
But-
that off.
right, is that when we got the hundred and
Yes,
fifty?
we got, yeah, it paid on 2/7.
Okay, so we did get that
Well,
money.
that's the $65 that
Oh,
came
yeah.
through,
Okay,
okay? Cause the 125 came through, that was $125, and then I got $65, and I couldn't figure out why I got $65.
Okay. So when they come through and clear, then we can issue this check.
Yes.
This check.
So
we
this
can-
should be able to go
That's
out.
what it should be, just
Yes.
like if we're sending materials back or whatever the case is,
Yep.
when we get
Yeah.
the credit, you get the credit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so we have to remember that.
Those are the little gotchas that happen in the process, so.
So now, these two that have been paid back, are we gonna send them a letter and a bill, or what do you guys wanna do?
At this point, I guess it's up to the board what we really want to do in this case. Number one, we've introduced this online process, unaware of some of the errors that it could create for us. I would say if we can try to contact them and request that repayment, we should do that. But if that's not approved, or they don't even know they got it, or whatever.
Right, which they might not.
Which they might not, we then may have to just swallow
Decide
that as a
at that
lesson learned, as a part of the startup and this end. So, to that end, I would say, yes, we should try to, recover that by sending a note or whatever. I don't have the specific access information for those people. Ruth may have that.
Yeah, Ruth might know. I don't know them at all.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, Mary Babler, I do. I mean,
Well,
I can-
Mary's the only one we would
Yeah.
know.
Right,
But I don't know the other.
to at least try to recover it. If we don't
Right.
recover it,
We'll make the effort.
Yeah,
right.
okay, I will
So,
try to get a,
given that, I would make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion from Larry to accept the treasurer's report and a second from Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it will carry. Okay, public comment. Do we have anybody online?
Monica, you,
Yes, yes, I would like to speak. I've been in contact with Ruth and told her that I would let you know that I am more than willing to assist in any way that I can with the elections. I have my certifications and have worked, many of the elections there. So want to let you know that I'm available and will help whomever needs my help.
okay, now you can serve as the chief clerk at this point for the election?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Ruth did indicate to me that she would be here, hopefully, but again, that's not known for sure. And appreciate thanking you for taking on a rather large task at this point in time. But thank you so much. We need the help.
Yes.
You're welcome. And just to let you know, the county clerk has my email and has been sending me the same notices that they send to the clerk so that, I'm backup, for whatever is needed.
Okay, so they're aware of that part of it already.
And
Yes.
also, there's been offers from other town clerks nearby to assist us along the way. So appreciate that.
Right.
I think everything was prepared for the absentee ballots and everything by Ruth prior to her.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. That stuff is all taken care of. Yeah.
Right.
The only thing I'm concerned about with email that we got today was that people cannot register online right now up until the election. They would have to be in person to do that. So if Ruth is not there, people can't register then.
Well, okay.
But you would fill that role, correct?
If they know how to find me, right?
but Ruth
I
is
think,
gonna be back.
go ahead,
Oh,
Nina.
gosh.
It would be better, I see on the next line of the agenda that you're looking to appoint a clerk. And it would be better for the clerk to actually do that, but I would help them if they needed any assistance with that.
Okay, do they need to be certified in any way, shape, or
No,
form
not if we
for that?
appoint
Not,
that.
not to do the registration, but to
Okay.
do actual day of election things, you have to be certified.
Right, which if Ruth is not here, you would take care of anyway.
Well,
Yes,
she took care of the election as chief.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
believe Ruth will be back tomorrow, and she doesn't have to leave again until April 11th.
That's what she indicated to me as well.
I mean, unless something
But we
changes.
don't know.
but
We
yes,
don't know.
Haywire, yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we got that covered as well.
All
Thank
right.
you, Larry.
You're welcome.
Any other public comments? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to item number 7.
We received a letter.
Correspondence. We received the resignation from our beloved Ruth Kirscher here, that she can no longer fill the rest of her term out. So, due to family health reasons. So due to that, we are looking to fill the position of clerk. And we have Teresa Clawhotch, who has expressed some interest in taking this position, filling in until the rest of the term is up.
Correct.
So Teresa, if you would like to speak, I mean, is that something that you're interested in doing?
Yes, I've been in accounting for 25 years at QI Fabrication. I know about the cost accounting, I know accounts reconciliation and actual versus budget. I work with that a lot. So I've done budgeting and I've cost centers. I'm familiar with that and a chart of accounts. So I'm very familiar with the accounting aspect side of it, and I know QuickBooks. My knowledge is some, but I really know, I took an online class and I feel comfortable with it, because at my work at QI Fabrications, we just went through a computer upgrade, so that's a whole new system, so I spent the past 6 months learning that system. So I took out my QuickBooks, I kind of reviewed that this past week and so.
Do you
I'm-
use QuickBooks online or do you use?
Online is what I took the
Okay.
class, not the
Yep.
desktop, but.
Okay, because
Yeah.
it's totally different.
Right, yeah, and I have my instructor as a contact, and a girl I work with uses QuickBooks for 4-H, so I got a lot of people I could network with QuickBooks, and also with, the town clerk. It sounds like a lot of them network together, and they
Yeah.
bounce ideas off of each other and ask questions and that, so I'm comfortable with that, and I know a couple of them too, I could reach out to ask questions and that. And I know I need a lot of training, like board of review and elections and, oh, it goes on and on. So,
Right.
but not like everybody's experienced with elections and does board of review and all that, but yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And it's a learning experience.
Right.
Jill Lau, the county clerk, has offered to be
Right.
of assist.
yeah,
And other local clerks have
Right.
offered to assist. We do an awful lot of online reporting with the Department of Revenue, the
Right.
Wisconsin Elections Commission,
mhm,
federal registration for ARPA monies, and there's a lot of reporting, and it's all done online.
and I'm comfortable online because I work in corporate accounting, so all of our financials get uploaded to our SharePoint, which is an online financial software where all of our financials get rolled up into our segment, so whatever segment level you are at, that's where our financials get loaded to, so I'm familiar with working online with financials and
Okay,
just being online in general. Sometimes I work remote, so, but not all the
Okay.
time,
all
so,
right,
yeah.
because we do
But I do
have,
work full-time 8 to 4, just so that you know that. But I would be available in the evenings, like after 4 till 8,
Right.
so,
okay,
yeah.
well,
So that was kind of the questions that, you know, I had called and talked with you a little bit. And those were a couple of things I want to make sure everybody understands. The other issues we might run into then is availability for the town hall key. We might have to get creative, unless they're gonna come over next to you or whatever. If
Well,
not,
there's-
maybe we do lock boxes. We gotta do some different things than what we have been doing in the past.
we will
To
have,
say the
we
least.
have to consider some of those things. Ruth's drafted up a list of duties. And there's, you know, it's been very convenient for her to be able to, people just go over on Mill Road, because that's where our mail gets delivered.
Right.
Everything points to her home and her phone. So I'm not sure going forward, we're gonna have to work in concert with Ruth. And whomever we appoint, if it be Teresa, I would be in favor of appointing Teresa to fill out that unexpired term at this point in
That's
time?
through April of 2025, correct?
It's,
That's when
it's
it's-
until
yeah.
April, the April election in
Right.
2025.
Got it.
So it would virtually be 1 year.
Or death do you part.
Jason got that part.
So if you'd be willing to do that, I would make a motion that we appoint Teresa Tlahatch to the unexpired, to fill the unexpired term of Ruth Kirscher until April of 2025.
And I would second that. And I'm assuming Jason is gonna
He's
abstain from this,
got nothing to say, he can't.
correct?
He shouldn't.
All right. So with that being said and verbalized, all in favor of appointing,
Who made a motion?
Larry made a motion to appoint Teresa Kennard,
No.
Clawhatch, I'm sorry, to fulfill the rest of the term for the clerk. And Kevin Gillett, chairman, had seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will
Jason
carry.
abstained.
And Jason abstained, yep.
Okay, Teresa, you take minutes.
Want to do mine?
You can sit in the chair.
It's like throwing her into the fire.
Well, you know,
The key, as far as the key for the town hall, I can do something at our house too, if we need to,
Okay.
because it's close. So I can put a little box.
I know there's gonna be a lot of stuff. She's got the records and the great news is Ruth isn't running away. She's
No,
not,
yes.
there's no,
Right,
nothing but wanting to help. So I think we'll be fine. We'll just gotta figure out.
yeah, I
What
can figure out
avenues we're
something
gonna-
of where to put that
Are you doing
key.
it now?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
All right.
I'll give you this note as soon as I finish this.
Okay.
And let me know when you're done and then we will move on.
Now, what I would suggest, Teresa, is that just keep track of things as they go. And you will have the recording
Right.
after the meeting is over.
Mhm.
And I'll work with you on
Sure.
where we have to go to deal with make sure that, we can generate the minutes. That's the
Right.
one thing I know I can help with.
Well, in her email too, access to
Oh,
all
yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I've got all the
You got all
passwords
that?
and all the
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Excuse me, don't forget to swear Teresa in.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do
So
that?
what am I supposed to do with that?
Use, you will support the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin, defend the United States and the Constitution of the United States in serving the role of clerk through the end of, for the unexpired term for
Is
a
that like
year.
a whole written deal?
So help me God, you're the chairman.
I know that.
Ruth always did it.
I would have had it in writing and I would have written it right off.
Put my hand up or something?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
supposed
You
to.
usually have a Bible too, don't we?
Yeah,
We don't need that.
Okay.
okay, so I should write this down.
So Teresa, do you, yeah.
Yeah.
To swear, did
Left
you
hand?
be able to serve in the role of treasurer until April of
Not
20
treasurer.
Clerk.
clerk.
Clerk,
clerk through April of 2025 to fulfill the role of clerk, defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of Wisconsin, so help you God.
I do.
There you go. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you,
You're
Larry.
welcome.
I didn't really know what that was. I would have had it prepared if I would have.
Well, we had, yeah, okay.
Does that need to be signed and like notarized?
I don't know. if
It'll be
another thing.
recorded.
I know, but I mean, does,
Right.
We have a
What would
form
you
that we'll
sign
get.
then?
Right, we'll sign it and then Ruth will probably, because she's
Have
gonna
to
be the
notarize.
notary.
Yep.
That's part of one of the things we gotta do is she's gonna have to. become
We'll
the
have to
notary.
figure out what to
Are
do
you a
with the
notary?
notary.
Mhm.
No,
Okay,
Ruth
it's
is
just an
up.
online class, $20 fee,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
Okay,
Okay,
what else do we have?
well, we got another correspondence, the last one here from the Door County Tourism
Oh, yes.
Zone. And basically, our municipality had deferred representation on that board as of last year. And we wanted to know if we wanted to appoint somebody or join the board. I don't know that we do that much there to, we don't have very many tax dollars as far as room tax coming from our,
And I know
Yeah.
one already just is
is
done,
correct.
yeah.
So therefore, I'm not gonna join this board, and I don't know if any of the other representatives wanna join this board, so I'm gonna say that we're gonna defer representation. Does every member agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay. And that's what we will do.
Monica, do you both have your iPad as well as the phone call?
Yeah, I finally got in on the iPad, but I can hear better on my phone. So is that
Okay, that's
confusing
fine.
to you?
No,
Okay.
well, yeah, I see, I had a third person and I couldn't figure out who that was, and it's both of them are you. Okay.
Yep. Me and my evil twin.
Okay, I personally don't see
Right.
the benefit at this point in time, so I think we just not appoint anyone to the Door County Tourism Board.
I would agree. Okay. I do not have any other correspondence. Did Ruth have anything that she sent with, or?
No, she did not, I don't believe she had anything.
No,
Okay,
the same thing that we had discussed prior to that New York,
that lawsuit thing or
The
whatever.
lawsuit,
that we-
yeah.
Right, there
Yeah,
was
so-
something there, but since we decided not to deal with it last
Right.
time.
right,
What is, so she has something about the lottery credit? Add or remove lottery credit info? Do you know anything about that?
I'm not familiar with what
Yeah,
that is.
lottery credits with their property. Doesn't look like, they're just telling us that something's changing. It doesn't look like we have to do
The
anything.
way in which they're gonna present it on the
Yeah.
tax bills for
Yes.
next year.
Okay,
Okay, all right, so then item number 7 should be complete. We will move on to item number 8, Southern Door Fire Department report. I know Lauren had sent out everybody, and I believe Ruth had forwarded you the vehicle replacement schedule
I appreciate
for the
that.
upcoming
The
year.
very next day after the last meeting, I printed off copies, and of course, I had them ready for you guys meetings previously, and I wasn't able to make that meeting, but for the very next day, after last meeting,
I even got a personal copy because I kept pestering you. Thank you.
everybody did.
Everybody did.
Everybody did.
And then Ruth sent me some, so we're covered.
We're gonna make sure we're good.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, Lauren?
All right, this is gonna be pretty fresh, because our last meeting was last night. So everything is well upstairs here yet, so. Going down the list, the treasurer reported in his report that we have $16,477.94 in our checking. $285,727.54 in our money market. In January, we took out a CD at Capital Credit Union for $100,000. And we sold the fire truck last month, and the board authorized me to invest that money out. That also went to Capital Credit Union. So there's $100,000 CD at Capital Credit Union. There's a $54,000 CD at Capital Credit Union. And 3 years ago, we had taken out a 3-year CD at Capital Credit Union. That matured, and it was supposed to automatically go into the loan payment on the truck. The loan is 2.75%. The CD rates are 5.2 and 5.3. 5.2 is the dividend, 5.3 is the APY, because these are 8-month CDs. So when I went to, the chief had asked what was left on the balance of the loan, so I went to Capital Credit Union to put in the 54,000 from the fire truck. I asked, I said, did that CD get rolled over? And they said, no, it didn't get rolled over, even though it was supposed to be. I said, well, lucky us. So instead of paying 2.7, instead of paying 54,000 off on the loan, we took and reinvested it, so, in a CD.
Good.
And the loan balance is at $249,830.13. So we have a grand total with the checking accounts, the money market accounts, the CDs, we have a grand total of $507,803.26.
Perfect, good. Very good.
The chief reported that we had 5 fire calls last month and only so 2 or 3, 3 actually that we responded to. 2 got canceled en route. So February 2nd was the mutual aid call to Sturgeon Bay. This was at the Midwest Wire building right off of Lansing Avenue. We responded with an engine. February 3rd, Shiloh Road, illegal burning complaint. No nuisance was found. It was a smoking burning barrel, and this burning barrel had a top on it. It was on a cement pad. It was the most safe burning barrel / fire you could want. And then March 11th on East Main Street in Forestville, a carbon monoxide detector was sounding. The firemen arrived, they checked, they had 0 readings on our handheld fire department carbon monoxide detectors. It was determined that the residence detector was defective, even though it was only 7 years old. They usually have an average life of 10 years. So we did leave one of our fire department detectors on scene, which once the property owner gets a new detector, they'll return that. So technically there were 5 fire calls, 7 EMR calls. Oh, the other ones were all canceled. 7 EMR calls. The chief noted that in March, training in March will be a live grass fire on County H. Conditions need to be favorable and a minimum manpower of 10 to have this training. So favorable conditions will mean no fire ban, state fire ban in place, wind conditions are correct. It's a training.
Where are they conducting that?
County H, it'll be near the County H and County O, near the Widener residence, the Widener farm. So, but the conditions, all criteria need to be met or it won't happen. So, especially being as dry as it is right now, but a lot can change. I don't have an exact date on there. But,
How do they determine where they're gonna have that? Or they just randomly pick a spot and say, hey, we're gonna have a grass fire over here and,
well, Dennis Widener's on the fire department.
or so it'd be like a controlled burn?
It'd be,
type of thing?
right, it'd be a controlled burn, right, so.
So if it doesn't happen that day, the training is still gonna happen, day might change.
They might change, right, so. The mason for the new LED sign that we're getting at the fire department. The mason is getting brick samples for the firefighters to choose from. The vehicle committee met March 12 with Todd Perlowitz. Todd Perlowitz is a salesman from Marion Body Works. The price of options for the slide-in unit for the new brush truck. The firemen have decided on going with a 4-door, 1-ton Dodge truck with a gasoline engine. They went through the dealerships and they can get a municipal rate for buying a vehicle. So the 1-ton Dodge 4-door truck will be right around 53,000. The slide-in unit, which is the pump, tank, hose reel, small tools, whatever, is estimated minimum of $30,000. Now, this brush truck equipped will be paid for by the firefighters out of their fund, not from the fire department.
So they're for a total amount of how much?
About 80.
83 minimum.
83,000.
Fireman Tom Fluff has stepped down from the fire department. Chief handed out LoSAP statements at their February meeting. LoSAP is the retirement fund that basically 401 that they can earn. Class A uniform reimbursements have been approved from Chuck Seelar and Randy Krieger. Class A uniforms are the dress uniforms that they use for maybe parades, funerals,
Official function.
official functions, correct. They have been approved for Chuck Seeler and Randy Krieger. The uniform vendor is suggesting not to accept uniforms that are over 10 years old. We have a program in place that if a fireman leaves the department, that we reimburse them $150 for their uniform, and we get the uniform back and we can reissue it to a new fireman. Well, the vendor is saying, well, after hanging on the hanger for 10 years and not used a lot, these uniforms he's recommending that not to reissue them, not to retake them back in. So the firefighter banquet was held last Saturday evening at the hen house. We had a total of 58 dinner plates that we served and paid for. And the picnic date is July 27th, 2024. So we're doing well with the money wise,
Yeah.
we were scared at first when Nassau split off that we didn't know if we were gonna be able to stay afloat. And we're
It's coming.
doing well.
You were getting a different accountant?
We're still keeping our eyes open yet for
Okay,
an accountant. He has not given us an official retirement date,
okay.
but we're still just keeping our ears open, so.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Lauren, do you have a copy of that for Teresa? Is that possible? Or can we make a copy of some of those numbers for her?
I don't, because our accountant was on vacation this month.
Okay,
So these numbers that I gave her, or I read off, were all from the bank statements.
okay.
So, I can,
We can capture those
I
numbers
can
from
just
the.
go online and listen, so.
From
I'm
the-
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'll
I'll
be
do
fine.
that.
otherwise you're,
I'm good.
All right, I
I'll
was just trying to make it a
yeah.
little bit simpler,
Or
so,
Do you have a phone, take a picture with your phone? Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
okay. Item number 9, Maplewood Sanitary District.
I didn't know
I don't think we have anything from the sanitary district other than the bill.
that. You got a check.
Right, we got a bill that we.
A check?
No, you gave me a
I'm
check,
good, thank you.
like,
That's from the sanitary district. we're
oh,
talking.
I'm sorry. I don't
Okay.
cemetery.
Not a
I thought you
problem.
said cemetery district.
That's next.
Okay,
Sorry.
So we'll move on to item number 10, cemetery report.
all right.
Do we have,
Yeah, cemetery report, we did get a payment for perpetual care from a family where this has been an ongoing issue with 2 brothers in a family lot up there. And the one brother paid for one and the other brother paid for one. And we just took the monies and put it into the cemetery account. I gave it to you the other day, the check that came from them. An old time family in the township. And as such, there's nothing that, it's gonna be 2 or 3 cremations and maybe 4. So we have done this in the past. It tends to create some grief then on whoever's handling the paperwork. I'm dealing with stuff in the cemetery that was done 30 and 40 years ago in error. And we've tried to straighten it out. Now, the record books that I've created and I'm keeping at this point in time indicate copies of the checks, agreements that were made, and the official record book has that information in it. So whenever these people pass, whoever is taking care of the cemetery records clearly understand that there is no fee associated with that perpetual care burial. Because we've already caught twice we've gotten the same thing. So to that end, the cemetery committee will be looking at cleanup probably in May, maybe before our next meeting, I don't know. No, it'll probably be in early May. I've also got some markers up in the cemetery marking the lots, the alleyways. And some of those, most of them were done probably 30 years ago or so, and they're real good in that they have an 18-inch spike made out of rebar, and then we have a 3-inch square 1/8-inch steel plate welded to that, painted red. So that when I go in there with the metal detector, they're very easy to find. However, not the entire cemetery was properly marked that way. And so the net result was there are still some driven pipes. We have discovered some 1 by 3-inch by 10-inch long pieces of steel that are marking some of these locations. But what happens with those two types of markers, they continue to go down. We can't find some of these corners. And so when we put in our markers in the fall, we could not locate all of the corners. So we do that so when winter time comes, if we have a winter with snow, we can then find the grave locations. So to that end, the committee, when we went through this process in the fall, decided we really need to make about 20 of these up to replace those pipes and these steel pieces. So I'm working on getting somebody to help fabricate those for me. And we'll probably be installing them in the May cleanup. Then we'll have it very easily marked to find some of these places.
Do you have a design?
Oh, yeah. I pulled one out and I took it to a metal fabricator. He says, this is what I need.
Okay.
So it's a matter of 20 coupons that are 3 inches square, 1/8-inch steel.
Because if you didn't have anybody, I know somebody can get that taken care of for you.
If I can get the materials, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I got the rebar.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and I can get it welded up easily enough.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I need 20 pieces, 3 by 3 by 8. Keep that in mind, Jason.
3 by 3 by 8, any particular shape?
3 inches by 3 inches by 1/8 plate. And we'll just weld a rebar on the bottom.
How many?
We'll paint the top red and we'll put them in
20?
20. Yeah, that's what we estimated we're short. Or we have pipes in there, or we have nothing in there, or it went down too far.
Yeah.
So, and I've already trying to get arrangements to find out what is going to be our date for cleanup, but I want to be ahead of the game a bit on that. So that is that.
All right, perfect. Item number 11 is broadband update.
Okay. Several things. Last night at the Southern Door Auditorium, High School Auditorium, there was a public informational meeting. This was the second of 2 meetings with regard to the broadband project. And this, probably around 100 people attended. There was many people there who really were opposed to the process, that felt that they didn't want to pay for it. And I have to comment that Jason Rauer, who has represented town of Forestville on our committee, he's also the IT director at the county level. He made a very appropriate statement in that thing. He said people didn't want it, and he was saying, look, if I get a heart attack because I'm up here answering all these questions tonight, I want to have the ability to rapidly contact first responders to come on in and take me away. Now, my mother isn't going to vote for this, but I am. People were making statements to the effect they didn't feel it was fair to put it up to an election when they own 3 parcels of land and they want 3 votes. they don't even understand the electoral process. Or, so it was an evening of a lot of naysayers, if you will. There were some comments made into the Peninsula Pulse, letters to the editor that John Cook answered well and responded to everybody. So there are three towns, Brussels, Union, and Gardner, were putting in differing amounts than what we had approved in January. And one of our residents came up to me at the end of the thing and said, well, I'm glad you guys just went ahead and decided that you were gonna fund whenever you have to fund this thing. So we avoided some of the conflict that was evident last night. So I relay that. This morning I attended the county broadband committee meeting online with regard to our grant application, Door County broadband grant application. It was approved this morning in the amount of $15,650, and it will be forwarded to the finance committee at the county level for payment. When this money comes in, we want to put this into a set-aside account. This is not ARPA money. This is the Door County broadband grant money. So we don't have to worry about reporting ARPA on this, but we do have to keep it segregated for the sole purpose of the broadband project. So
No, that is separate then from the dollar amount that we were looking to get from.
868,000, yes, this is in addition,
Okay, that's good.
an additional grant.
Mhm.
Yes,
So-
this is the extra monies where we said that if things changed, we would have those dollars to play with above the amount that we approved.
There's one other issue related, quasi-related to that.
So this was already applied for?
Is
Both of these things have been applied for. We got the Door County one. So one is at a Door County level, one is going to be at a state level.
right.
And the state level one, we do not know yet at this
The
point in
state
time.
level one will be applied for by our
Provider.
by our provider, Brightspeed.
Right.
We've already signed an agreement with them, but we haven't contracted with them.
Mhm.
They will do the grant writing for the BEAD funding, which is broadband access, equity, and
Based on the understanding, if we
Right.
get the grant, now we'll enter a contract with them
right.
to move forward, meaning we aren't going to change our mind. If you got the grant, we're gonna go somewhere else. No,
Sure.
it's gonna be here.
In addition, this came up this morning as well. This is, there's a packet of information here. Teresa probably should have one of those, somebody. Anyway, what's in that packet is basically information with regard to a proposed right-of-way protection ordinance. Now, as a county, we have, or as a town, we have two ordinances in place for underground and above-ground manure lines for protection of our right-of-way. And what we need to do ultimately is pass another enhancing ordinance, of which there's a sample in here, which is, I think, starting on, this one, it's right there. This is the draft one. That was proposed at the broadband committee meeting this morning. It's not final. It's under review by legal counsel. And then they included the information from the Wisconsin Towns Association with regard to protecting the right of way in the towns. So this is just information. We will have to probably consider this in draft form. I've also included the two ordinances that we already have on the books. We're one of the few towns that have ordinances with regard to protection of the right of way. And this is just designed to enhance.
If I remember, when we went to the broadband meeting in Sturgeon Bay at Stone Harbor, Jason was talking about this
Yes.
type of a thing. Basically, what it is you have your right of way, but there's no rules, so people just go wherever. Well, after years of going wherever, there's no more wherever to go.
Right.
Now you'll be required to do specific things and they'll have to follow specific rules. Or the right of way will be all full of garbage and Lord only knows.
It already is, because there's various utilities that are already in the ground, gas utilities. There are fiber utilities, there are all kinds of things in the right of way right now. This proposed utility, special utility permit is patterned after the state permitting system. This was worked on by the former Door County Highway Commissioner, John Kaloji, in concert with Thad Ash at this point in time. So this is the proposal. We don't have to act on it, but it needs to be, we can't lose sight of that. And this is why I just am providing those things, so you
Yeah.
know, for reference and everything that's there.
Because we can't do nothing with this tonight,
Right.
so.
And
No,
that's,
but we could look at it,
Yeah.
possibly table it for next meeting.
and
then-
understand it when the time comes, before we actually enter into any formal contract with with Brightspeed to build out,
Right,
then we will have to make sure we have that right of way protection built in.
assuming we get that far with it,
Yes,
so,
yes.
okay. Because I know, like you said, this is actually being reviewed right now by legal, so
Right.
we went, okay,
This is the first cut from the broadband committee on that.
nice, all right.
So that came out of this morning's meeting. All right. I don't stop till I got more things to go. Okay, that's all I
Good
have.
with
for number
broadband?
11. Yep.
Okay. Item number 12 is HayGov and website update.
Been a little busy, as you can tell. We activated the HayGov clerk minutes utility on our website for the clerks to work, and that's how we generated the minutes for the last couple of meetings. It has now gone live, so we'll have to activate that. We approved to use it for 3 months, for a 3 months fee. Our first month is a free month for trial, so that's March. And we said it was good for March, April, and May. Well, it'll be April, May, and June before we have to make another decision. Do we really want to go with this for the entire year? So then that would save us some money. But in any case, that's already activated, and I worked with Ruth on generating the minutes, so that turned out to be a good thing, given the circumstance that we now face. Let's see, there's that piece there. Then the issue we had today with the dog license, the kennel license, we were able to work through that and
Yes.
issue a kennel license. I believe that's the first kennel license that came through the website. So we got a kennel license issued tonight.
Yeah.
Because you're going to Florida tomorrow to get it done. So what I'd like to do ultimately, and to think about for the next, when we do decide whether or not we're going to continue the clerk minutes element, is to, I talked with Atanas, who's the product owner for the website integration with digital services. And if we can work it out, we can have it prorated so that it all comes due together. Right now, the way it initially started out, we had one 3-year agreement for our website. We put on another agreement for the digital services. This is a third piece of that. Those first two were joined together and prorated so that we could have them at least come to do together.
Right.
And if we decide to add this additional function, then I want that prorated in, so it comes as just one bill. You know, Ruth did get a notice of inability to renew, where is that? There's so many things that happen here in the course of a month, kind of ridiculous, but she got a notice that they couldn't renew our QuickBooks, and it's a scam. Yeah, so it looks very official. And she called me about it and she says, do I fill this in? I said, send that to me and let me look at that. I looked at it and it was just a scam. So even though it looks all official, we've got to be real cautious of what it is we're going to be approving for payment, period, because it just drives you absolutely crazy.
So she did renew it,
She did. It
Okay.
was renewed.
okay, because it went on the credit card here,
Yes. For how much?
$645.
Right.
Okay,
We did get it renewed. It was due to be renewed. But the first thing that she got at the renewal point was not from Intuit.
okay.
So it was, somebody was trying to get the money from the town on a credit card. They wanted a credit card. And it came back and it basically said, we couldn't renew your subscription. And it looked official. It turned out it was a scam. And so then I went back and worked with Intuit to get, because we had the old credit card on file
Sure.
there, and then we got this scam attempt.
Okay.
Drive you nuts. So anyway, that was taken care of, so we renewed the Intuit. One of the things we're gonna have to do is make sure we understand where we have automatic charges to the town credit card. And right now, the town credit card is issued in Ruth's name.
Right, but there can't be too many of those autos. I wouldn't think,
There's
is
a
there?
couple.
I don't know what they'd be.
They're from Town Web is one of them.
Okay,
Then I know we have the Intuit, and there was another one. I don't remember what they were. But we're gonna have to document that, just make sure we understand where they're all at.
yeah, I'll have to ask Ruth because, yeah, because I don't,
Unlike Norton or virus protection.
No,
None of that.
no.
do we have virus protection on our stuff?
We Quantum, when we buy stuff like the computer we bought from
Yeah.
Quantum, there's a support thing here.
Okay,
Then anything that we're doing with our technology within and without is Quantum is our
Just call
resource.
them up. But
But
don't we pay them for that?
It's probably
You probably do.
included in
it's probably embedded in our costs
the
there.
cost of this.
And the cost of buying the computer?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'll find out.
yeah,
Or maybe because if you're doing service with them and it's kind of,
I don't know.
but it would be a good question to ask.
Yeah, I'll be
because every
asking that
month
question.
we
too.
pay our
Sure.
IT guy
Same-
every
same
month to,
thing too,
yeah, to have coverage,
Oh, yeah,
And then you gotta update it or whatever.
yeah.
right. So that's a good question to ask with regard to what all is automatically being
Yes,
on our card.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, is that it, Larry?
that's right for this part of it, yes, I think. Yes,
All right. Roads and road work.
yeah. there's a
So-
new one.
I went to the class for this agricultural road improvement program grant applications available. To kind of sum this up, I don't know that this is really,
That's for the,
if we're gonna be eligible for any of it. Let me just give you a few of the points of the whole thing is, number one, it has to benefit the farm itself.
you're
And you
talking
have to
about
prove,
agricultural. work.
correct,
Yes.
and you have to prove, meaning the farm has to prove that it's gonna be X amount of dollars, okay, which is financials and things of this nature, blah, blah, blah. The road must be posted on a weight limit for a year before you'd even be able to apply for this thing. okay? Well, we don't have that many road limit ones, and once it's applied, and if you got the grant, now that weight limit has to go away, cannot be on there any longer. Well, it shouldn't be, because they would have made it wider, bigger, whatever.
Heavier.
The only road that I could think of off the top of my head would be Rosewood down over by the cheese factory in S. But then you'd almost have to go, you'd have to take County J and then go past Lauren's farm, which would be Carnet.
Mhm.
So you'd almost have to include Carnet, but that's not posted, so that one's not eligible. Okay, then you could turn on that to go across, which then would include the bridge, the culvert by Med Keys and everything else, because that would be all part of that.
There's old Krieger. Old Krieger.
Well, we're trying to get funding, but that's not really an agricultural program road.
Correct, and has it been posted? It has to be a direct benefit to the farm, meaning we are running from point A to point B.
Gotcha.
Okay, and we use this road, we wanna use this, if I can't use it because it's posted.
Mhm.
So you're making me go all the way around this thing. Oh, how much is that gonna save you? Okay, you're gonna have to do your calculations, you'll have to do whatever. But if you didn't have that road posted, and you didn't have all these other things as far as weight limits, you're not eligible. You can't even apply for that road. It's not even talked about.
Yeah.
So really, at that point, you would have to talk to the farmers to find out which roads they would are you truly looking to use? That would be the number one thing. And then again, if it wasn't pre-posted, that already knocks you
The
out.
only one that I can think of that is pre-posted is Old Elm Road between highway and it.
Yeah.
That would be the one that would be a benefit to them. When we already have just resurfaced that, not to agricultural
Is
standards,
it posted, is it
been
posted now?
posted for a couple of years.
So that one would be one, and then the other one would be,
But we also have constituents who do not want that road to be a heavy agricultural
Well,
road.
here's the problem, is you're gonna have constituents that don't want
Oh, I
that all the
understand,
time,
understand.
That's
the only one that I know of that would fit the agricultural program, road program.
Yep,
But that's been
So-
posted that way for several years.
and that's what they're trying to get at. These are why all those restrictions are in there. We just don't want you guys doing whatever roads you have. These dollars are supposed to be
Just
a direct benefit to the agricultural road, the
Would-
farmer road.
what, I have to ask Dana on Old Elm Road. You guys currently take the highway to H or to J, right?
Yes,
And you return on Old Elm Road empty.
sometimes. I don't know if they do that all the time or not.
Well, they have,
Yes,
because I've been in contact
okay.
with the drivers and the farm. So is that what would? Because once you go for agricultural road, this thing goes through a swamp. This is gonna be no different than the problems that we encounter for the state highway going north of Maplewood. That's a log road. It's never been resurfaced since 1903, and they just ground and resurfaced it this couple years ago. Because it's through a swamp. And this is no different when you go down Old Elm Road between the highway and Old. That's nothing but a swamp in there. And we always have had problems with that road.
Mhm.
Would that be something, yeah, I guess that would be up to the farm if that would be beneficial? And what amount of savings would that provide you as a farm?
Well, after I said it didn't matter, but then they kind of said it would be nice to go straight across and come out.
It would be
Because-
beneficial.
Yes, it would be beneficial, because now they go by the church
Up the hill?
up the hill, and if there's something going on there, and then they're hauling back and forth, if there's a funeral or
The
whatever.
baseball game.
The
Correct.
baseball,
everything else.
yes.
Yeah, I
So
know.
there's a lot of people on this road that they're trying to go by, that's not real feasible.
That would be, as far as I can tell, that would be the only road which you would
But I
have.
was just, so we got a thing in the email from the town of Union for this funding. And they had us fill out, they must be going from Marsh Road, I think. That's all right, is that in Union?
No,
Yeah.
maybe Brussels.
I don't know what road they're
Well,
trying,
there could be a Marsh Road opening too.
Swamp Road,
Swamp Road.
for Brussels Road and Swamp Road. So they must be trying to go for this,
On
Grant.
those roads.
yes.
I don't know. if
But the
I-
road we're talking about is just up here. You're basically between the highway and.
And Mill,
And Mill Road.
Right.
oh, yeah, that's a big road, but that's not posted.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's not posted,
That section is not posted.
but the other
Across the highway,
side,
But we already did that.
Yeah,
That's done.
yeah,
yes, that's done, but the segment between Mill Road and the highway
Is not
is
done.
not done.
Correct.
but we can't do that because it's not posted, right?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
It's not I don't know if it matters if it's posted on both sides of the highways, or is it because it's the same road, but it crosses a highway, does that matter?
That segment of road is a separate piece of road. When you do your Whistler report,
Correct.
you'll find it as a separate piece of road.
But that section, this section here is not posted.
That's correct.
So now I'm not eligible.
Right,
Okay,
But
Right.
which is foolish, because if you're, I mean, cause if we take every road away from you, you can't leave the farm.
right,
You know what I'm getting at? I mean,
yeah.
it's the goofiest thing. It'd be.
It is.
Well, I
But are these roads posted that they're doing in
Yeah.
Union?
don't know, but they said it about 5
Yeah.
times.
I can-
Let me be clear. If the
It's
road is
previously-
not previously posted, you are not eligible. If it
Correct.
is not a direct compensation or benefit to the
farm.
farm, it is not eligible.
Correct.
Don't bother.
I
Yep.
don't think Brussels Road is,
I'm just saying,
Posted.
so in order to do that, it had to be done for a year. It can't be-
A year prior.
Right, I can't just go throw a sign up there now, we just passed this, and now I'm gonna go ahead and, no,
No.
it needed to be there a
Maybe the
year
sign got
before we
knocked down
did
a year
this.
ago.
yeah, so I got knocked down, nobody knew that.
That was enough.
Isn't part of Isle posted?
Technically, Elm Road is posted, if you,
One
Look at
chunk
it.
of it, not.
But
the-
Not the
Like
whole
it-
thing, just a
Right,
piece
because
of it.
what happens on the
Segment.
state report, you have a little map like
Yep.
this,
oh,
in
you
every
have to
section
specify. Oh.
Yeah.
is, even
And
though it's the
sometimes
same road,
A road, even between two major arterials,
it's two
maybe
roads.
two separate
Oh,
roads.
okay.
Yes,
This
Okay.
quarter mile and
Sure.
that 3/4 mile.
it's
Okay.
easy.
East and west. and
So I
north and
don't,
south.
so I don't know, I'm kind of curious now to know if those roads are posted.
So I did call Randy on this, because being that you guys are the biggest farm here, and I asked him, I told him that. I said, is there roads in our township that would be beneficial to you that are posted? You know what I mean?
Right, but
Because that's the
what
only.
other roads do we have posted in the
Well,
town?
that's- well, you've got Rosewood, that's the one that I said is really the only one that is
Yeah.
truly,
Mhm.
And you gotta protect that bridge.
well, because the bridge would be replaced with part of this,
Now, part of Isle.
because it's narrow and.
South part of Isle is not posted? Class B? Your portion of it?
You mean from Niles Road to
So,
O&H?
right,
No, it's not posted.
I don't believe it's posted for Forestville. It's only posted by Nassawapi on the north side of it, past Niles Road.
So again, we're not eligible there. And then, like I said, in front of the farm there where your place is, to get to Rosewood, that's not posted, so we would have to come up with, to fix that. And how often are you guys truly down there? I realize you got a field, but it's not a main run,
No.
it's not a real benefit that you'd be able to show financially, hey,
No, they
This
would
is-
stay on J before they
Right.
go there.
Yeah,
yep.
that's what you end up doing.
So I don't know unless they change some of the application rules that this is gonna be basically.
We might have a lot of people complaining.
And maybe things tweak a little
Yeah.
bit, but as of today,
are the roads you might want to post in case that program comes up in the future?
Well, here's the problem, if you do that, right, that would be the road we wanna post, well, now you can't use it. Well, now you're killing them and you're forcing everything
Right.
over here, which is what we
Right.
don't wanna do.
Yeah, you know. Unfortunately, and these little programs that they throw out there with all these,
Restrictions and everything
yeah,
else.
you can't win,
No,
no matter how you seem to go about it.
So, okay, so that's what I have there. Now, as far as the culvert, inventory for the state. We had talked about it and I said I would get a hold of Soil and Water, which I have done. And I've talked with that and all the culverts to be there to make sure that they were not going to charge anything above and beyond
They couldn't,
the
they
$100 amount. And they said absolutely, we'll have everything done, taken care of for the exact amount, and it will cost our township nothing to do it.
Right.
So with that being said,
There's
I would like to make sure that, or if I have to make a motion here, that we would allow the county to take care of that instead of farming that out
Well,
to.
we have to specify Soil and Water Conservation Department.
Mhm.
Correct.
So to
But-
that end, to that end, I would make that motion that we contract the soil and Clerk County Soil and Water Conservation Department to conduct the infrastructure inventory to determine which structures would meet the requirements for the
State culvert
the
inventory.
state culvert inventory. There's a form to be filled out that needs to be submitted by April sometime here.
Correct.
I'd second that.
All right, so I have a motion from Larry to accept Soil and Water to deal with the inventory of the culvert per state requirement. And a second by Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Okay. That's what I have on roads at this point in time.
Are we going to schedule a spring road review?
Yes, we can. Since spring is here and it's only March.
Doesn't make any difference.
No, I'm just thinking normally there's snow on the ground, it's not very nice, but hey, it's been awesome.
well, it's supposed to get cold again.
Yeah, we'll be
Well, yeah,
cold for a week and then
Right,
we'll be back
and then
into
the
it.
snow, so. What would you guys, what do you have available, you know?
Well, what would work, I guess is really the question.
Are we into April? Are you thinking you wanna
I'm
get past
thinking
the right?
into April,
Okay,
because by then you're not gonna, you'll have pretty much assured that you're not gonna have more issues. It's a very dry spring, so
When is the election?
the election.
April 2nd.
Oh, okay, so we can
Right.
plan for saying something like the
And then
week
you have,
after.
right, and then we have the 16th, which would be,
Well, we have a couple of issues. We have things coming up.
Yeah.
You not only have the election, but we'll have to have our annual meeting next month.
Yep.
And we'll, somewhere along the way, once our appraiser
gets back to us.
advises us on whether or not the book is ready
Yep.
for open book, and then we have to have no later than the fourth Monday in April, April 22nd, we have to schedule our first meeting. If we don't have our first meeting, we still, if we don't have the 7-day separation between
Mhm.
open book and the
Right,
April 22nd date, then we have to, we can have it as late as June 5th for Board of Review.
Mhm.
But we have to be cognizant of the fact that we might have an open book somewhere in there,
Mhm.
so.
I will be out of the country April 19th to the 28th.
19th to when?
The 28th, that's basically a week. You're on a Friday, that weekend, that week, we're back on
19th to
Sunday.
the 28th,
Yeah,
okay.
Party attendance.
feel free.
Uh,
So I don't know if you guys wanna go, like the 29th, 30th, if you would like to do it beforehand, if you'd like to do it on, get past the vote, if you wanna do it on the 5th, which is a Friday. I don't know how your schedules
Well,
work.
my schedule's wide open, except for May.
Yeah, the 8th.
Yeah, her camp, well, May's too late for us anyway, but, so. So whatever Larry you got, I'm good.
we could do the 5th if that works,
Sure,
the week after Easter,
yeah.
okay, April 5. What time do we usually get started, on 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Right.
Yeah. So what time would you like?
Doesn't matter. I'm good. I am wide open. So,
If we meet here at, say, 9 o'clock and it's go,
yeah, just go, yeah.
Okay,
9 a.m. at the town hall, we'll meet and we'll go, but we'll have to post that.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be posted with, 5 days prior, is that how that works?
No, it's just a normal post,
Oh, okay, I thought,
just like we would for any meeting, 3 days,
3 days,
you
yeah.
know, so we can get that posted.
I'll take you around on the school bus.
Huh?
Then you'll know what roads need work on.
Yeah.
Center Road between Carnet and S is a plumber way. Now,
That's where they got the stumps that grow up underneath the road yet? Yeah. That's nasty.
between North Carnet.
Well, we got a couple of, Cherry Road, Cherry Lane or whatever,
Yeah.
between Mill and the highway, that's a rough, a rocky road as I've ever seen. So, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with this other piece of
Mhm.
something we missed.
yeah. Well, when I had talked with Thad, he's gonna basically have to cut it and
Yeah,
dig,
right,
but he's like, well, you're gonna have to wait till it warms up now, but
right, but
so
we're,
that's
it's warming
definitely
up.
absolutely on the agenda.
So that's why if we do this inventory, we'll get a better sense on what we can do for road work come the spring. or
And then
come summer.
whenever, those grants come out, it will then know what's happening on Krieger and
Krieger
whatever
Road.
else.
Yep.
Is this gonna go through or not gonna go? through?
County line,
Because I think
Yeah,
that'll
'cause-
start to dictate where dollars are spent or not spent.
Anything you do on
Right.
Elm at this point, especially on that chunk, you're gonna have to build that up quite a bit to handle the weight now. So no matter what you do. So just something to think about. It's gonna be a cost. So,
Yeah. Without a doubt. Okay, payment of bills.
All right, did you just did you see
I
that?
did.
Jason?
I looked at the bill,
Okay,
good.
also, we wanna add the credit card bill in to be, okay to pay.
okay, and so
The amount was 911.89, and she's got it written down what she,
this was a lot of postage and stuff from the,
For the
Print
ballots, I'm
cartridge.
sure.
for the absentee ballots,
Yeah.
ink printer. This was the Intuit bill, ultimately that got paid, so, yeah. And here's the receipts for all of that stuff.
So I'm fine with that, whenever you need it signed or whenever.
yeah, it just has to get okayed with the rest of the bills.
Yep.
So, and then I did call about a CD on the money that's sitting there.
Yep.
And a 6 month, Bank of Luxembourg, a 6 month is 5.10, and an 18-month is 4.45.
So 6 month is how much?
5.1. I don't know why 6 months is more than a 18-month. I have no idea.
And 18 is how much?
4.45.
Well, why would we go 4 or 5?
I know, exactly. I don't know. Maybe the lady I talked to doesn't
The
know.
5.1 would be the APY if it was for a whole year,
That's for 6 months.
but is it the rate like 4.98? Cause I called, when I was looking, I called Bank of Luxembourg and it was like 4.98.
That's,
for
that's
6
what
months.
she told, this is what she told me. I called yesterday,
Okay, maybe adjusted since a little bit.
so I don't know. And then that positive pay that I talked about,
Mhm.
it's $10 a month. There might be a possible setup fee. She wasn't sure on that. But it's $10 a month. So basically, every check that you write, we'd have to upload it or download it, whatever you do,
Yeah.
to the bank to make sure that it is in the bank, that the bank, so when the check comes in and the bank doesn't have that you wrote this check, it will come back to you and you have to give the okay that it's okay to have this check cashed. Normally, as soon as you write your checks, you just put it in, you just download it to the bank. I don't know if that's something that we're interested in or not interested in. I mean, we don't write that many checks, but I don't know if it's worth it or not. You do anything with that?
We do it at work, we do
Yeah.
positive pay, we just upload the file to the
Yeah.
bank, so.
And
Yeah, but
for them
I
to-
work at a company that's,
Well, we do too.
yeah, just
So we
to
would
safeguard.
then, what's your recommendation?
What, it protects us, does it
It
not?
does,
Yeah.
That
yes,
somebody doesn't scam or steal a check or
Yes.
whatever the
Right.
case is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
You are protected, yes.
Right.
They will not pay a check. They will not let the check go through unless we have it in the account.
But we
saying
pay a
that-
fee for that?
$10 a month, so you're
$10 a
talking
month.
about $120
Oh, that's
out of
nothing.
the year.
Yeah,
One check is.
Yeah.
right,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And granted, we don't keep money in our checking account. I mean, we don't, there's
Right.
very little money in the checking, about $1,000 to $1,200 in the check. When the checks go out, right now tonight, there's a lot sitting in there. But
Once the bill
when
is
we
paid.
put the checks out in the mail tomorrow and there's not much in there. But I don't know if, I mean, it's peace of mind, I guess,
Right.
if you really wanted to do
Well,
it that way.
we just want to protect her from having a problem.
Right,
Mhm.
There's a lot of not nice people out there.
Until that service gets hacked, then.
Well,
Well,
I don't
with
know.
the bank though.
But it's bank's
Is it
responsibility,
more for
right?
you to do?
Just-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more, but
But it's not that bad.
no,
It's something we used to do.
something you get used to,
Mhm. Just-
I'll make a motion that we do the positive pay.
okay?
I'll second that.
All right, Kevin made a motion that we add the positive pay to the town's checking, and Larry had seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry.
I'd also make a motion and
That's next.
this,
So do we want to start? I'm assuming we all agree with the 6 month one, right?
oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just a no brainer, is it not?
Right, yeah,
Okay, so that would be for the fire department funds that we have sitting in escrow?
Yep.
Okay,
yep,
somebody want to make a motion or?
I'll make that motion. We put those monies in that 6-month CD that you brought to our attention.
That's at the Bank of Luxembourg?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right, I second that.
All right, I have a motion on the table from Larry that we take the 6-month CD, the fire department funds that we have in escrow, and a second by Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will pass.
Now, as far as the bank and signing checks, we're gonna have to have Teresa go in, sign a card, or we're gonna have to all re-sign again. I don't know quite how that's gonna work.
And you fly out tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
So really, how long are you gone, a week, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I'll be back a week from Saturday.
Is there gonna be your signature or just hers? I'm trying to remember how we did that.
I think we all had
Used
to
to be they
re-sign, I
all
think we
have to.
all had to re-sign a card,
Yeah, my guess is that you'd have to sign new,
but I don't think there's any checks that have to go out this next week. I mean, we got them
So we
all,
should be fine.
yeah,
yeah.
actually, I don't think I signed these checks.
Cause when is Ruth?
No, you should.
That's why they're on your pile. So when is Ruth coming back?
Ruth will be back Friday, tomorrow,
But she doesn't
Well, then
know
you're
fully
covered.
her schedule.
Yeah.
right?
Correct, right.
Should I make a motion that we pay the bills?
I think that would be a.
Yeah, that would be
I
a
make
good
motion
idea.
We pay the bills.
Including the
And
credit
Including the
card.
credit card.
including credit card, yes.
Yeah. I'll second that.
All right, Jason has a motion on the table to pay the bills as presented, including the credit card bill, and Larry has seconded that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry.
Question,
Yes, sir.
does the county charge you for plowing the parking lot here at the town hall?
Absolutely.
And how long have they started that, or how long?
Have they been charging us? I think
Forever?
forever.
I think when they stopped doing a lot of the private driveways, the church,
Because we got a bill for plowing the fire department,
Oh, yeah.
yes,
that's a first,
Yep.
otherwise we've
They
been,
never used to charge the fire department before.
right,
really?
Yep.
right,
And I don't think they ever charged the church either.
No,
churches.
they do
have-
now, they do
Right,
now.
churches do now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why.
I thought when they,
Forestville Church went
when they
private.
stopped doing private driveways,
When they were doing private driveways, they
but that,
charged,
they were charging the private driveway owner, it was a
Yes.
contract.
yes, yes.
But when they stopped doing those, you can contract the county, was it Birmingham coming in sand
Yep.
for the buses?
Mhm.
They charge us for that.
We got charged for January snow plowing, so we were just figured of that.
So was it a set rate or did they charge you what?
The time and
labor-
material.
Oh, everything,
Yes. it's
driver,
all
time, material.
Okay, so it's the same way.
It was broken down.
6 ways from
six-
Sunday,
Exactly.
and you can't make heads or tails out of it. That's the way the county billing process.
There were billing accountant fees on there. For billing us for it.
Yeah.
It all takes time.
Did we approve that thing?
We did.
Oh,
We approved.
good.
Everything is
Yep.
approved.
Okay, good.
Lauren was just commenting the question there.
Yep.
All right, so we're good with payment of bills. We will move on to item 15, all other matters by law. I don't think there's any that I'm aware of, right? How about you, Larry?
I was at Towns Association District meeting the town of Gardner, back on the 22nd of February. And the new York County Emergency Management Director, Jeb Salins, made a presentation with regard to national incident management. And they're providing overview to familiarize senior officials, executives, elected and appointed officials, city count and county managers, agency administrators in their role of supporting incident management within the National Incident Management Systems, which is called NIMS. And he would there's a meeting at the Government Center in May, the 14th. They're not charging any fee, but there's an explanation of what needs to be. And at the town level, the question was raised, every town has to have a primary contact point in the event of an emergency
Mhm.
incident, what have you. And is the way they looked at it, it's the town chair who carries that responsibility.
Mhm.
And he would like to have an opportunity to present this maybe at one of our meetings beforehand, if we want to know more about the National Incident Management System. We've gone through this before in this board.
Mhm.
We have a plan in place in concert with the county, but it now needs to be refreshed. If we don't keep current with what's going on at the county level, an incident happens and the county or state have to go to FEMA for support or funding without having a fully fledged system, they can't. So it's something I just mentioned. We would probably be wise to talk to
Mhm.
this guy and see if he
So he's
can.
looking to come here?
Yeah,
Is there a primary meeting spot and a secondary? Cause I believe the Forestville Village has, the fire department has a secondary meeting spot
right.
in such emergency, if say,
This is the guy.
if the primary spot was scene of the
Yeah.
Was this,
incident, you know? Fire department would be the second scene.
right. But they look at the town officer,
Yeah, to make,
but you cover 3 towns.
no, this was for the village.
Well, this was for the
The
village only.
village designated us the second point of,
Right. But we gotta work with
right,
Jeb, basically, to make sure that we have the proper designation,
I'm
primary,
just asking if
secondary.
if there's a second spot that you wanna designate as a,
I don't know, I
that's what
thought,
I'm getting at.
did we not have the church there?
We at the church,
Yeah, I
There
thought ours
was-
was second was the
There we go.
church,
yeah.
yeah. That's what I recall
It's
from
about-
that.
It's about capacity and water and sewage of what we do currently have, and then, well, there's that book, it's somewhere in that,
Yes, it's in
Yeah.
the back room.
so.
So he'd like to come here plus have the meeting besides that, or
Well,
both?
if we want to, we could invite him here to a meeting or just make sure we go to the meeting. Or have somebody,
Mhm.
primarily would be the responsible party.
Well, I think it
I'm out
would
of
be,
town for that.
Yeah, so,
well, maybe we could have him come here because
well,
wouldn't
yeah,
it be beneficial for,
I would think if the
All of us
entire
to know.
town board knew. what was
Right.
going on.
Yeah.
that's what I think,
Yeah. So maybe we should invite him to come to
so I
a
can.
meeting. I don't know if we got a lot of things going on at the April meeting. You know, yeah. We'll look at
Like the
calendar.
annual or the after?
Well. yeah,
Well,
that's
we
my thing.
usually have our annual meeting followed immediately by our. town-
Right, but what do you want him there for? The annual or just the regular board
For
meeting?
the town board, primarily for the town board.
Okay,
He wants us to be aware of how it's functioning and what they want to do. you know. But then they provided this information, that's why I brought it. You know, if you want, you can have this guy too.
Okay, I took a picture of it, but.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but that's what because if I'm gonna call him, I wanna at least know what I'm talking to him about.
Right, well, yeah, okay.
It's just funner that way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The next item on line 15 is gonna be, consider purchasing a new computer for a new clerk.
Well,
What does Ruth have now? A laptop or?
we have a desktop tower, it's
Okay.
a bit on the old side.
Mhm,
I've tried to work with, we've tried to work with that.
mhm.
We own a printer, we own a vault, a safe. You know, and it's at Ruth's house right now.
Okay.
With what we're doing, with everything, what we did, we purchased a laptop for the treasurer.
Mhm.
This was paid for with ARPA funds. I believe yours was paid for with ARPA funds.
Mhm.
When we put in our meeting tools,
Mhm.
we still have a balance in our ARPA fund that we need to expend before the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And typically what we've done, is we've used some of that in any,
Sure.
renovation of the town hall, and various things. It'd be my recommendation that we purchase a new laptop for the clerk's position. comparable to what we got, for the treasurer.
But now, is she gonna want a monitor and stuff, so you're looking at the little
We have a
laptop?
monitor. That was
Oh,
all-
Ruth has a mon,
Yeah,
Ruth has a monitor, okay.
Ruth has a monitor, she has the, printer. She
Okay.
has everything she needs, doesn't have a sound system in it, you know, so we use the headphones, but, she doesn't do a lot of meetings online. But what she does do is a lot of interface with Department of Revenue,
Sure.
Wisconsin Elections Commission, and other state entities. And it's a lot of online type things, so.
Well, you just have
it's-
speakers at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We should have
but
something
it's
then.
built into
It's
the,
built right into the laptop. You
Right,
just
right,
plug
right.
in your
Laptop.
headphones and you're
So,
good to go. Yeah.
to that end, I checked to find out, what it would cost us to purchase another, it's a Lenovo machine you have.
Yep.
They would upgrade this one to a bit more memory and a bit more hard drive. It'd be 512 gig, but there's very little that's stored anymore on the machine itself. It's all in the cloud
Yep.
through the Google service that we now have, through the town web design. 16 gig of RAM in the Windows 11 Pro would be about a $1,200 purchase. And probably a mouse, you know,
Is that with tax, or are you gonna add? all
we do
that?
not pay tax.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're a tax exempt organization.
So, not used to that.
So it would be, I like to make a motion that we just go ahead and order the computer. I did talk to them. They don't have any right now in stock. They're on order. And, I have another issue I'm gonna go over with them and talk to them also about, you know, firewalling or whatever,
Sure.
you
Yeah,
know, are we just working with just what is in the Windows 11 Pro software? As long as we keep it current, we don't have a problem. Most of our data is all online. So,
Them you're referring to as Quantum PC?
yes.
Okay.
So I make a motion that we purchase this laptop through Quantum PC to get it for delivery as soon as possible.
I second that motion.
I am fine with that, but I just wanna make sure that we're gonna give you the authority that if he comes back and it ends up being, you found some different information and it ends up being $1,300 or $1,400.
Whatever.
My point is I want you to be authorized to be able to just take care of it and be done,
Right.
right? Do
Yeah,
you
that's a
agree?
good point, yes.
So is that how we wanna make the motion?
Okay,
Okay,
not to exceed $1,500?
sounds like a plan. Okay, so I have a motion on the table by Larry to purchase a
I'll
new
second that.
computer for the clerk of up to $1,500 and a second by Jason. All in favor?
Right.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. All right. Item number 16, announcements. I don't really have any. I think we went through everything. Item number 17, any thing we want to add on to future meeting? We got enough on that next future meeting.
So it's gonna be the annual meeting and the town.
Yeah.
It will be the annual
yeah,
meeting.
right, yes.
Right, and the town, oh, you got it right here, April 16th, okay,
Yeah, it would be the annual meeting
right.
at 6:30 and generally, the clerk just goes over the books from last year.
Oh. that
I
was right.
believe Ruth has already printed those reports.
Okay,
Did she not?
I have them.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's there, she got them all done.
Usually at the annual meeting, the
I still wanna
chairman
get
also
together.
has
and
a
hold on.
signature.
Yeah,
Right.
she'll do that.
Everything, yeah, when she's ready.
Yep.
She can call me at the good time.
Yeah. So these will be available at the, for the election.
Election in April.
People can pick it up.
Yep.
She will
Right.
go over this, you'll go over
Yeah.
this, or Ruth
And
will. I
She
don't know.
will,
which.
well, I don't know, if she won't be here.
No.
No, she won't.
Yeah, she won't be
So
here.
we'll have to.
So she'll have to, yeah, get together
Yeah,
with
I'm
you, so
gonna
you
get
kind of know
together with
how,
her,
what this
yeah.
all, how she put all
Yeah.
this
Ruth
together.
is
Yeah.
more than willing to
Mhm.
help and to coach as she has time available as
correct.
it works, so. She was working on this the other day when I was over there trying to make sure I got all the access codes. But we're gonna have a lot of things to change.
We'll have to look and see, look at our last remaining balance of our ARPA funds and see how we're gonna appropriately expedite that.
Well, we'll deal with that. I'm thinking when we get into knowing what we want to end up doing on the road work.
Right,
And what are we dealing with? We have a report that's due by the end of April.
right.
And I worked with Ruth on that last year. We had a $40,000 balance in there,
Mhm.
of the 126,000. So we'll have to figure that piece of it out.
Mhm.
And we'll have to make some changes, on the website is the clerk contacts. We have the old picture on the website. We have a new picture, so we'll have to get a letterhead changed. And decide how we're gonna handle mail. There's a lot of things that we're gonna have to go through in addition to just the banking, the credit card.
Yeah.
All the rest of it. And in that credit card bill, there's a monthly payment in there for website, wasn't that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't on this one.
Well, it's on the credit card bill.
No, it wasn't on this credit card. Not for the
Look
website.
at that credit card bill. What is that?
That was for stamps, ink and printer and website. Well, that was the QuickBooks
Oh,
online.
okay, okay. So if we have to replace that credit card,
Yeah, I don't know how the monthly payment,
well, that's why I say we'd have to work with Ruth on that.
do we have, I thought we paid a whole year in advance for the website.
Yes, but I thought there was another fee.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought we paid a year in advance. for
Yeah.
that, Yeah.
The other thing we have is a card reader.
Oh, sure.
You have a
Yeah,
card reader?
Yeah,
Card
Ruth's
reader.
got that.
The square?
Ruth's got it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a scanner,
Oh,
it's a stripe reader.
Yeah, we have them at the thing too, just.
Yeah, but we'll have to take it, it was registered to her.
Yeah, well, there's gonna be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 'cause the
41 years worth of stuff here. This isn't gonna be a week worth of work.
Oh, no, she's got a lot.
41 months.
right, yeah.
And keys.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we just gotta, at least so she can sign checks, I guess, is what we gotta look at first. So
Right.
when I get back, I'll work on that week. When
Okay,
I get back to get that done and then get the CD made up.
beyond that, I don't know that we have anything else involved there.
and then the paper to have her, Teresa sworn in.
Yes,
We'll, you wanna make a note cause you'll have to give Ruth, she wanted those checks back, cause she said, I'll
Yes,
mail them
yep,
out, they're specific.
yep.
Okay,
heard all about it.
yes, okay. So then if you wanna ask her about that, would be wonderful.
Okay, I won't see her.
Give her those
Okay.
two, will you?
Maybe I'll call Ruth.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this to Larry. Can you get the checks to Ruth or Kevin, one of you two?
Yeah, I'll take the checks
Okay.
back then.
All right. I'll leave this in here. I need your stub off of that other check I threw at you, though.
What'd you do that for?
I don't know, because I wasn't there. Ruth does that.
I don't know. All I know is that I usually have to say, by the way, where are they?
Yeah.
There you go.
And this is for next time, right?
Yeah, that's
Just leave that in
another
there.
bill. That's from last night.
Okay, so discussion as far as items intended for future meetings. We're really not gonna add anything, we'll just do the agenda and we'll come back out.
Yeah, we'll have to work on building an agenda.
Yep. 18, next town board meeting will be the regular town board meeting. Will be immediately after the annual meeting on April 16th, 2024 at 6:30 PM here.
At the Forestville Town Hall.
Yep, at the Forestville Town Hall. Should be it, looking for an adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, Jason's made a motion to adjourn the meeting, Larry has seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. The meeting is now over.